Yo, 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 what is up? What is up? Oh, man. Oh, man. You want to talk about disappointment. You want to talk about disappointment, boy, I got some news for you. Whoo, boy. The Buffalo Bills traveled to New England and get a loss. They got a loss here. And we're going to talk all about it right here on the Intentional Grounding Podcast. This is the Buffalo Rumblings vidcast feed, Buffalo Rumblings postgame show. And it's not looking good, folks. It is not looking good. Not looking good, but I want to talk to you about it. Today is therapy. But first, this show is brought to you by Slide a Shelf, where we can help you reach what matters. Bills fans, if you're looking and have a home improvement project to do that involves shelving, make sure you see my guys over at Slide a Shelf, where they can get you squared away. They have these really cool shelves that move, slide in and out. Hint the name, Slide a Shelf. You can put all your knickknacks, your patty wax, scatalax, all that stuff right there. It's easy and accessible. And you know what? All you got to do is make one measurement, and everything else is taken care of, okay? You can completely do it yourself if you want to. If you want to go to Home Depot or Lowe's, you can find their products and services there. You also can go online at www.slideashelf.com, where they can help you reach what matters. I don't know if I should have the music on. I don't know if I should go take a shower. But man, when I tell you that I'm disappointed, it's one of those things where am I disappointed to the point I have nothing to say, or I'm just sad? I don't know. I might have to get some help on this podcast, though. I might have to get some reinforcements, because I don't know if I can make it through the whole 30 minutes to an hour. So with that being said, I'm gonna bring my dude in. Okay, All Bro Poe. This is my guy. This is my guy right here, and we're gonna talk about this game. You know, I would ask you how you're doing, but I don't care right now.
Yeah.
It's bad, dude. It's really bad right now.
Yeah, and it's not it's not bad to where what's wrong. You know what I mean? It's bad to where it's just so much there that you could talk about, and you don't really know where to start, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating.
Yeah. I mean, look, the fans are frustrated. Ms. B says, left our hearts, energy, and urgency, and drive at home. I agree with that. DMX says, O-line was horrendous. I thought their pass pro was really bad. Yeah. So before we get into what went wrong in the game, what I like to do on this show is let's go over the box score. Okay, let's go over some of the game stats. We'll start with the Patriots first. Mac Jones coming in here. Overall, I mean, he had a pretty terrible season thus far, but today he was 25 of 30, 272 yards, 9.1 yards per pass, and 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Only took 1 sack. Passer rating of 126.7. New England running the ball. I mean, there was really not much going on there. Ramondre Stevenson, 9 catches, 34 yards. 9 carries, 34 yards. Ezekiel Elliott, 11 for 31. And a tutty. The Bills did pretty decently on the ground. I mean, it wasn't, but the yards after catch is what really burned them today. But New England for receiving. Kendrick Bourne, 6 catches for 63 yards. His long was a 33-yard scamper. Demario Douglas, whoever that is, 4 catches, 54 yards. Ramondre Stevenson on the other side, though. So 6 catches for 51 yards. Now, they haven't been targeting him in the pass game at all this season, really. but he came in and got 51 yards on the ground. A big 30-yard scamper under 2 minutes that we saw there. But I mean, look, that's offensively. We'll start there. We'll start talking about it. Man, this is bad, dude. This is bad, 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 bad. And I don't know. Listen, Albropo. I don't know. Something's got to give because now we're seeing a trend. Wouldn't you agree to that?
Yeah, and the problem with the trend that the offense is at right now is that this defense, with its injuries, is not prepared to play a game where they have to stack the line of scrimmage for the whole entirety of the game because they're down for so long. And we're missing both of our interior D linemen and our wheelbacker. And the reason Mac Jones looked like excuse my language, a god out there today is because we are playing cover 1 and cover 0 man, stacking the box, and we're allowing little runs or little throws that he has get out for 30 plus yards. And
right.
The reason that this team has been so good in the past is that we'll take a lead early and we won't have to deal with having to stack the boxes. They'll have to throw the ball more often. And we just haven't been scoring the ball in the first half. And I don't know if it's Dorsey. I can't really it's all of it, I guess. It's all of the above, but
yeah, it's bad. But I want to address a comment real quick because Trey gonna get me hot. So he says, when can Bills content creators at large start blaming Dorsey? Stat guys won't admit all the points comes when game plan goes out the window. So if you are a listener of this show, Ken Dorsey gets his fair share of the blame. Now, with that being said, sometimes it's really hard to blame Ken Dorsey fully because you can't do that. He's with blame, but not the whole thing. And you got to start looking at 17. 17 is just as much of the problem as Ken Dorsey is. And I'm sorry. I love Josh Allen. I really do. But Josh Allen is missing people that are open. He's not reading the field. And Ken Dorsey, I'll give Ken Dorsey the blame when it comes to this. His game plans in the first half seem to be pretty bad. There is no nuance in this offense. There's no creativity in this offense. So that I will put on Ken Dorsey. That Josh Allen needs to be a 35, 40% play action pass. Not today. Not last week. Like, Ken Dorsey is a big part of this, but you look, he got guys open. It's not like he's, calling these plays and they're just a bag of I don't even want to say what I'm about to say. But it's not like he's calling plays and it's just trash, right? There's nothing there, no outlet, no nothing. 17's the blame here, and especially today. We got to put the blame on 17. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, Josh missed quite a few balls today, and I think I tweeted something earlier today that I think his shoulder looks like he's not putting any up on the ball. It looked like his shoulder hurt today. And granted, I don't like that we only run our 4-minute offense in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
I don't understand it because it's the most effective offense that we have, and we're losing the entire game.
Tell me about it.
Why can't we run the 4-minute offense to get points on the board, to get a lead? And then once we have the lead, our defense can play much better because we only have to have 4 D linemen and 2 linebackers in the box. And that's how we like to play. And we're missing our nucleus in the middle and this is why I don't understand. It's like the way we're calling the offense is not matched with the way that we have to play defense with all the injuries that we have. You have to call the offense to score early, and he's not doing it until late. And that's the way that our defense is set up right now with the amount of injuries that we have. And so, I'm not blaming the injuries for the loss. I'm blaming, you have to understand what injuries you have. You have to understand what type of defense you have right now and understand that they are going to be much better playing with the lead. So whatever bag you have that you dip into in the fourth quarter, you have to dip into that in the first half somewhere to get some points. You can't just play from behind. We've done this for 3 straight weeks where we're playing from behind.
Yeah, Matt, shout out to my guy, Matt, man. He's super dope, but he says the defense is no longer able to overcome the amount of lost players. Now, that's not an excuse. I think that's just the truth.
Not
That
to
is
carry a win. Not to
right,
carry a
right,
win. There's
right.
like this defense probably could have won you this game fully healthy.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
And this defense probably could have won you the last 2 games fully healthy. And last game, you can argue that they did. And so, like, it's just not. We can't keep doing this where we wait to the fourth quarter to open up the bag.
Yeah. And back to Ken Dorsey. And by the way, this is the Buffalo Rumblings vidcast feed, Buffalo Rumblings post-game show, intentional groundings here. Thank you for everyone who's tuning in. This has got to stop. I mean, Ken Dorsey gets a lot of the blame here too. Josh Allen, these two, I don't know what it is. Like, I can't put my finger on the what the problem actually is. But I'm telling you right now, like, you answer this question. And for those of you who are watching the show, if you're driving in your car going to work on Monday, or whenever you listen to the show, tell me this. From the times in the past seasons that you've seen Josh Allen, doesn't it look like the fun of the game is completely gone from him? The childlike, fun Josh Allen, he doesn't look like he's enjoying himself. He doesn't. He always has that glass-eyed look on his face on the sideline, just staring into the distance. Now, we might not be seeing what's entirely on the sideline, and he just may be in game mode, but I think it's a big difference. I don't know what it is. Not saying it's a contributing factor or a major factor as to why the play, the way they're playing the game is bad or not effective, but something's got to give. I don't know if it's a with Ken Dorsey. I don't know if we need to change there. Like, if Josh is not happy, there needs to be a change. But I don't know. Just my speculation. But right now, Josh Allen played like crap today. Let's call it what it is. You had guys open. Like, I even sent out a tweet. Cook is open in the flat. Cook was open in the flat. Like, throw the ball. Quit holding on to the ball, making the play. And bro, it goes back to our show this week on the Chopper where I mentioned, I said, hey, doesn't it feel like Josh doesn't trust the receivers? That rang true today. He got the ball out to some. Let's go look at the Bills. Let's go see what they did on offense today, shall we? Josh Allen, 27-41, 265, 6.5 yards per, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Josh took 1 sack on the day. James Cook, 13 carries, 56 yards. That's 4.3 yards per rush. Josh Allen, 7-17 on the ground. That's terrible. Dalton Kincaid, 8 receptions, 75 yards. That's crazy what happens when you start using a guy that you traded up for in the first round over the middle. He gets yards. Stephon Diggs had a very quiet day, was double teamed all day. 6 receptions, 58 yards, 9.7 yards per. James Cook with 46 yards. And I keep going down the list, and I see Gabe Davis, 1 reception, 6 yards. This is the second game in a row where Gabe has not, he's not there. And I know that's your guy, but this ain't it.
Not throwing the football.
Because he can't get open. That's the problem.
I guarantee
you. Let's go watch. You and I can watch the all 22 this week, and I guarantee you we'll see that Gabe's not getting open.
We can go back and look at it. I promise you. If Josh's mentality right now is to stare at Diggs, which is fair. Diggs is balling. Sure. If Josh's mentality is to get the ball to Diggs right now, and he's missing Kincaid, he's missing Cooks. He's missing Dawson Knox sometimes, and granted, Dawson Knox missed it.
Dropping passes.
He's missing receivers, and like I understand the need to get the ball to Diggs. At the same time, that mentality where like you have to get the ball to Diggs for this offense to move the ball, that can't be. In my opinion, that can't be the case. And when we go back to Gabe, I promise you that there's probably a lot of times where Gabe is open, he's not going to.
I don't know, man. I think it'll be the latter. I'm not saying he was bottled up all day, but I'll agree with the fact that he's staring down Diggs too much. Goes back to he's not trusting his receivers. But you know what? You know what though? Before we even continue on the lackluster Bills offense, we first have to give Bill Belichick a lot of credit because what he does, he takes away what you do best, and that's Stephon Diggs, Allen to Diggs. He took it away today. And what did the Bills have to show? Absolutely nothing. And that's a problem. Bill Belichick today with a injured defense. His defense. Christian Barmore was great today, but they had no Christian Gonzalez. They had no Matt Judon. And they're missing other guys. And what he did with that defense today against the Buffalo Bills is the reason why he's one of the best defensive minds in football ever, because he takes away what you do best. And they had no answer. So everything that we thought that you and I talk about on and off air came to light. It's coming to light now. And you know, what's the excuse?
I'm gonna put this up real quick, if that's all right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yes, the defense had the lead with a chance to win the game at the end of the game. They should have gotten a stop. This is supposed to be what your defense does. When your offense is putting you at a deficit of 6-0 to start the game, and then you're playing from behind the entire game, and you have two 200-pound linebackers that's playing the game, and you have to stack a box to stop the run, you're going to struggle defensively to not give up points, excuse me. So I understand that they had the lead and they could have got a stop to win the game. But if you this take right here makes me think of somebody that didn't watch the game and just went and looked at the score and was like, the defense should have won them the game.
And I agree with that, because let's talk about the defense. Mike Milano's out. Tre'Davious White out. Daquan Jones out. Ed Oliver out. Like, I'm sorry, but the defense did what they had to do. Were they perfect? No. Did they miss a lot of tackles? Absolutely. But the defense is not why they lost the game today. How about starting the game off with an interception? From there, you didn't do anything. You got 3 points in the first half against a battered New England defense. That's the problem. The Bills, look, we talk about this. If it happens 3 times in a row, 3 weeks in a row, it's a trend. The Bills in the first half have done diddly squat. And that's the problem. I don't want to hear nobody talk about the defense. I'm serious. It's not and it's not just because, we got All-Pro Poe and Jordan Poyer's his brother. No, he's a free thinker. He knows his stuff. It ain't the defense, guys. It's the offense, man. And we got to point the blame where it needs to go. Allen is at fault here. Okay, Allen is at fault. You got guys dropping passes. How many? Stephon Diggs is dropping passes. Okay, this is not good. The interior offensive line was horrendous today. They were bad. Osiris Torrance, y'all know I love him. I pound the tape for Osiris. This was his worst game as a pro.
Absolutely.
Mitch Moore's getting dog walked in the backfield by Christian Barmore, who's really good. I mean, we knew. Here's the deal. Here's the trend. I don't know if you guys remember the Pittsburgh Steelers preseason game where the Bills played a 3-4 front. I mean, the Steelers have a 3-4 front. The New England Patriots have the same thing. I think there might be something said about them facing teams that play in the 3-4. They're just not comfortable yet. The timing is off. The rhythm is off. Some of the protection calls were off today. Come on, man. This team, I can go on and on about this, but it's all on the offense, man. I'm sorry, guys, but I know y'all don't want to hear it. And Josh Allen is our crown jewel, but Josh Allen played that crap today. I don't care what his stats say.
Something about that 3-4 front too, where you get into the 4-minute offense, and that's what's going to work again. You have receivers and tight ends that can run routes on linebackers, and we didn't run that 4-minute offense until the fourth quarter with 6 minutes left, and you're down by 12. And my thing is why not get out to a lead when you know your defense is hurting and it has many guys lost, especially the interior of the defense,
right?
The middle of the defense, where our D-line, our interior D-line was getting pushed back 2-3 yards today at a time, every run. And every now and then we brought a blitz, we had to stack the box to stop the run, and when that happens, you're going to give up passing yards. That's just, unless you have some lockdown corners,
right? Yeah. It wasn't the corners today, man. It wasn't the corners today. Oh man, Buffalo Rumblings vidcast feed. This is the Buffalo Rumblings post-game show. Let's look at the box score here. So, passing first downs, New England had 13, Bills had 14. Rushing first down, 7-6 Bills. First downs from penalties, 3. New England 2. So I don't know if you're sitting out there thinking, "Oh, well, it was the refs that really blew the game for the Bills." No, they didn't. No, they didn't. The Bills are 2 and 3 on fourth down, which is great. Total offensive plays, the Bills had 66 plays on offense. Okay. New England had 55. Yards gained, New England got them 339 to 364. The Bills had 10 drives on the game and came away with 25 points. Not good enough. I mean, this is I want to know what the third down percentage was. Looking for that right now. It's not showing me what they were on third down, but this is bad. I don't even know what the remedy is. I don't even know, like, if you said, "Hey, fix it," what would you do to fix it? I don't even know what I actually tell you right now.
Well, to fix what's going
the
on
offense,
is
fix the offense.
The offense. I mean, that's what I would say is that in the first half, you have to play like you're originally losing the game. So, like, when you get into the first half as the offense, what Dorsey's mindset is when you're losing the game is to get into that 4-minute offense, go fast. You have to do that from the beginning. You have to get out to a lead to help your defense kind of settle in to a groove and now make the other team throw the football. That's how we played when we were in 2013, or excuse me, not 13. The year we went to the AC Championship game, that's how we played. We came out and we scored on the first drive in like 14 of the 16 games that we played. And that's what the mindset has to be. You have to score early. I'm not sure why Dorsey's idea has been to save it for the second half. I don't know when that came in, but I would like to see him change it up and start being aggressive in the first half of the game.
Yeah. How many deep passes did we see today from Josh Allen? Passes. 1.
And he missed it.
And wouldn't you say that that's Josh Allen's, like, one of his, like, green cards is, like, he is a great deep ball passer, one of the best in the league.
That's that throw, and then his throw to Diggs across the middle. I had said before that his shoulder looks like it's hurting, and because he doesn't have the power that he had previously on the ball. And when he threw those 2 balls, I've never seen him miss that over the middle ball to Diggs. And generally, he at least gives Diggs a chance to catch that football.
Yeah, he was just off today. I don't even know if it was a shoulder. I mean, the nice thing to say, yeah, it's a shoulder, but I don't know, dude. It looks off, but they don't do enough of it. So he could be rust, right? They don't throw the deep ball like they should. And it's just so frustrating, dude. It's so frustrating to watch this Bills offense right now. With that being said, I think we got to call Sean McDermott out too. I understand that Sean has dual responsibilities at this point where he's coaching the defense, and I think he's doing a really good job. But I have to challenge him, question the mentality of this football team. The way they come out during these games is lackluster, man. Like, the mindset, like, and this, I know it's so easy to pick apart these different things, right? But that's what we get paid to do. We get paid to bring it to light. The mindset of this football team just seems different. It's off now. It's off. And I don't know if that's because McDermott is spending a lot of time, getting his defense ready, which the defense is playing good. But, man, it's like that McDermott blueprint, or what we're used to seeing, like this team being really dialed in, focused, like playing fast. We're not seeing that. And I think that has to do with Sean McDermott. So situationally, I don't think I have any problems with the way he called the game situationally. And from a defensive standpoint, no. But, man, dude, it's just not looking good right now. The Bills they're sitting at 4-3. Is the season over? No. But there's some definite changes that have to be made.
And I'll say this is okay. So I'll say this from a defensive standpoint. I had a disagreement with 2 calls that McDermott made, and this the goal line one could have been a misplay by Bernard. I had a problem with him sending both Micah and Jordan on the 3rd down and 3. They were in dime, and so Jordan was playing the linebacker position. He's playing the dime role now. I had a problem with that call. I don't think when the game matters, you sit Taylor Rapp in the center of the field by himself.
Oh, it's a good point. And Taylor Rapp looked confused. He looked confused of what his responsibility was. And then when Micah and Jordan came in on the left side there, they got eaten up.
I mean, they were stacking the line heavy, and they had 2 routes on the play, and Taylor's supposed to stay above that crossing route. And it just, I'm not leaving Taylor Rapp, as good as he can play. I'm not leaving him by himself over the middle of the field. That's the first thing. And then the second play was your nickel corner just got beat inside on the play before the last touchdown. And then you sit him on the outside again to play outside leverage, and you have no help over the top, and they just try to throw that play. I don't know if that's McDermott or his play call, or if that's Bernard not getting underneath that route that scored the touchdown at the end. But you can't just have him get beat on that route by a slot and then bring in the tight end and not give him any help underneath and have him play the same leverage on that play. So I don't know if that was McDermott or Bernard, but I'm not big on that play call either, not giving him anything underneath.
Yeah. And there was a 3rd and 7. I don't know if you remember this, where they sent the house and he hit Jalen Rager on a quick slant. Like, man, here's the deal. They had a game plan for McDermott and blitzing. Like, they knew there was going to be no interior pass rush, right? So everything was supposed to be on the outside in terms of that's where the threat was going to come. Well, you know what they did to stymie that? They used misdirection and play action passes. That fit right into what the offense needed to see for the New England Patriots. Because guess what? See, the more I talk about it, the more I realize how good of a game plan they actually had. Because once they start doing that play action, McCorkle didn't do anything that was like, oh my God, what did he just do? He threw it to guys in the slot. He threw it to guys in the flat and asked them to be tackled. And the Bills couldn't tackle. They couldn't get it. But it ain't about the defense, though. The offense put them in some really bad situations, man. Really bad situations.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know if there's a quick. Actually, the way you played the fourth quarter, that is a quick fix. The way you played the fourth quarter, and it's not as easy as saying just go out there and score like you did in the first half. That's not what I'm saying.
No.
I'm saying you play with the tempo that you played with in the fourth early, so that you can get points on the board early. And then it helps the defense that's hurt. Like, it's not as difficult as making it seem. And this happens every year. This has happened every year. We try to play slow early in the year, and then we start getting this 4-minute offense in, and then the defense has struggled in that middle part every year of adapting to them switching to the 4-minute offense in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get to the playoffs, and that's where we're at. We're running the 4-minute offense early. We're scoring. And then we're playing defense behind it. And not that urgency that they have in the fourth, like that is the urgency that is needed offensively in the first half, and not to feel it out, because your defense is feeling it out. That's the way McDermott coaches defense. He plays base defense in the first quarter. He feels out the offense, and then he adjusts. So you can't feel out the defense in the first quarter if your defense is feeling it out in the first quarter. It's just you're gonna be losing at the end of the first quarter every time.
Yeah, and the urgency has been lacking the past few weeks. After the Miami game, we just haven't seen any urgency. It comes late in the game. Like, I think it comes down to not understanding fully what Josh Allen is capable of doing. It has to come down to that, because you have an adrenaline junkie quarterback who thrives off of off-script, high octane, quick offense, and you're trying to turn him into this drop back play action. Let's read you got to get, and it's all revealing to me right now. You got to get quick answers when he snaps the ball. You need guys that are route runners. And if you don't have that, you're killing Josh Allen's ability. You need guys that can uncover quickly. They have one of those guys. Who else?
I mean, I think they have more,
Who?
but I think they have multiple guys that can be. That's why when they came to the 4-minute offense, you got Sherfield involved, you got Kincaid involved, you got Diggs involved. You like that offense that we so you have guys that can get open early. You just have to be in that up tempo offense for them to start getting these early routes and
Yeah.
And we're just not in that offense to start the game. We're in a very slow, and it's interesting because when we played offenses that we went into the game thinking that they have been successful, the Raiders were successful running the clock. As far as running the ball, Jacobs when we played them, the Redskins, the Commanders were successful scoring the football early in the games when they played, and then the Dolphins were successful. So we knew we had to score points. We ran the 4-minute offense in all three of those games in the first half.
Yeah.
And we were up tempo. We were scoring the ball. We knew we had to score the points. So we were up tempo. The games that we've played against teams that we didn't think we were going to score, we've been in this slow, run the football early, heavy, methodical play action. And like, I get it. There should be play action mix, but you have to be up tempo, in my opinion, with the offense that we have.
Yeah, it's got to change, man. It's got to change. And you know, I don't even want to come on here and just bash them. So last week, those of you listen to the show, I came in here, I said what I had to say. I tried to give you some light at the end of the tunnel. Okay. You lose to a 1-5 Patriots. I'm not sure that I can just come up and sit here and say, like, here are the bright spots, right? Here are the bright spots. And one was Dalton Kincaid today. 8 catches, 75 yards. He looked pretty good. I do like the fact that they tried to get him involved in the game plan, which was nice. Although it comes too late. James Cook looked good between the tackles, man. Like they stopped running the ball. I get why, because they were down and trying to come back, but you got to get that run game going early. That doesn't happen good enough. The lack of a screen game is still an issue. I'm sorry. Like you know what I appreciated about watching New England play offense today is that they use the screen to attack the edges of the defense. Yeah. We don't ever do that. It's rare.
Yeah.
They need it. Get the ball in the Sherfield and Hardy's hands with screens like that. Wide receiver screens. You could do those. You may not have the timing down enough to pull it off with the offensive line, but you could do it with the wide receivers, man.
We ran a couple today that got about 7 yards.
The Hardy one on the left-hand side in the third quarter, which was nice.
Diggs ran one on the right, Gabe blocked well, which is like.
But Diggs got blown up. He didn't get any yards on it.
He got 7 or 6.
So there was 2 where he hit Diggs and Diggs got nothing. There was that one,
and then there was one more wide receiver screen that got called back on a penalty, and so we ran some wide receiver screens. I would really like to see some screens where our right tackles can get out. Like Spencer is a very good run blocker. He can move well in space. So I would like to see some of those delayed screens to the running back. Yeah. Or I don't know why we don't run them very often, but
yeah. So this brings me to my next point. We see the turmoil. Like we see what's going on, and you're not one of these people. Okay. You're not one of these people. However, the Bills got to make a move now. I think it's time. You got to make a move somewhere, either at cornerback or get another wide receiver. It has to happen. It has to. What do you think?
I'm not too sure it has to. The problem. So like the problem.
Tell me why, because you full of shit.
My mindset is very stacked on not looking at positives, and you look at this game and it's ugly and you feel like there's no positives in this game, but the way we ran offense in the fourth quarter shows me that this offense can be extremely successful. And the problem now is that they lost, but I take out that if Dorsey calls the way he calls in the fourth quarter in the first half, this team is going to be successful. So I don't know if a change is coming. It would be.
Let me tell you why I question what you're saying, because we're at a point where we cannot rely on Ken Dorsey to get us out of jams. Like, the Bills need to go back to 11, get another wide receiver that can uncover and win with route running, and just let it go. This whole 12 personnel stuff is cute, but they can't do it. It doesn't. It's not effective for Josh Allen when you're looking at a guy who loves to throw the ball to wide receivers. Like, it's not working. Dawson Knox can't catch a cold. I'm sorry, but
It's
he
not supposed to
can't.
be a main option. Like that
But
was my
that's how
problem
they
with the
use it.
early.
That
Right,
hold on.
right,
That's what they told us in the offseason. That's what
right.
they preached to us.
And that was my problem with when I had told you when we were talking about how Kincaid's going to be on the field a lot because they're going to use 12 as a main offense, and I said that I don't think that it's sustainable to run 12 as often as that. And then, so I didn't think that it was going to be the main personnel package that we were going to use. I didn't think that.
They
And
really
so,
married to it.
right. And I don't think that it should be. I don't think that Josh is that type of quarterback. I do think that it's useful when you need it and that it's
situationally.
right. And so if I was going to make a change, it wouldn't. In my opinion, wouldn't be a receiver. The offensive stuff you can fix in house. I've seen them be successful. So it's not. It's how they're playing the game right now. It's not a personnel issue. I've seen them be successful against good teams.
It's no more. I feel like they
Dorian,
figured the Bills out. They figured them out on offense. The league has figured out the Bills. Tell me I'm wrong.
I attribute it to the play calling and how Josh. I don't attribute it to other teams, because
I think that's a factor too.
But I've seen the Bills go out there 4-minute offense, boom, 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 score, boom, 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 score. They can play extremely well on offense, and they can do it in the fourth quarter when it matters, I guess. But I don't understand why they're not doing that the entirety of the game. And I don't know if they're trying to elongate drives to take pressure off the defense, but it's ending up hurting them in the long run.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that T-Dot is starting at middle. He didn't start today, but Dorian came out and Terrell Dawson went in, and because Dorian was struggling, he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. We need a middle linebacker in my opinion, we can move we can move Terrell Bernard to the will to let him play that Milano position, and we need a middle linebacker that can play up the middle. Our D linemen were getting doubled all day today, and our middle linebacker was not, or our will linebacker was not climbing.
At this point, you got to go get Anthony Barr or somebody like that,
right?
Somebody and he's a free agent,
right?
Because I appreciate Dorian, but today he got worked.
He can play against passing teams,
right?
He can't play, especially if we're going to be down in the first and teams are running the football. In my opinion, that's not a place.
It's a liability right now. Yeah. It's a liability right now. I do think he has potential at middle, but we're at a point now with all the injuries. Like, there can be the margin for error is just much smaller with the defense. They're doing the best they can, and they're still keeping the Bills in games.
Yeah,
but it ain't the defense that's the reason why the Bills lost this game. Like, when you have that many major injuries, it's going to show, man. It's going to show. Not having Ed Oliver in there to make a couple plays a game. Like, for instance, like
Ed Oliver in there would have won this game.
Yeah. Let's talk about the guys in the middle first. Poona Ford, Tim Settle, and Jordan Phillips. I'm sorry. Them boys, especially Tim Settle. He has done nothing this year. Nothing. And I don't understand why you would start them over Poona Ford. Put Poona in there, man. I'm tired of seeing this.
I'm not sure it would have made a difference today, only because what I was seeing was their offense getting set up, them running away from Terrell Bernard, and them doubling both of our interior guys all game. And they barely climbed. And we just weren't getting it. Like, you're not going to be able to get pressed if the guards or centers have no threat to climb to the linebacker. And so you're not going to get if you're getting doubled, like I would love to see Puna in there if I thought he would be able to sit there at the line of scrimmage and hold double, and maybe he can. But Tim was getting moved today. Tim was getting moved.
Yeah. And, they were using traps and counters, right, against the interior defensive line, and they had no answer. Like, they had no answer. And that's a problem. That's a problem. Ramondre Stevenson really hasn't done anything all season, right? Ezekiel Elliott haven't done anything, but they were very smart in how they used the run to supplement. They got it, in short yardage situations, and they were able to capitalize when they needed it the most on the ground. Now, again, the tackling today was awful. We know the Bills aren't a great tackling team, but man, those errors really showed up today. So I'll agree with you on this fact that, yes, the Bills, I don't think they can afford now to keep having Dorian as their middle linebacker down the down, especially early in downs. I think Dorian's better in pass coverage right now. I'm not saying that's going to be the book on him the rest of his career, but right now as a rookie, he got exposed today. And Tyrell Dawson, he's not. T-Dot, put him on a practice squad or something, because
T-Dot went in there and he was in the places that he's supposed to be. That's where that T-Dot is. He understands his job and he gets there. He's just not going to get you any plays. And so, like, as much as I respect a guy that knows what he's doing and can be in the right place at the right time, like, he's just not making any plays in the backfield. And that is going to hurt when you're a team that is playing from behind quite a bit, and the teams are going to run the ball a lot, especially a team like the Patriots. And like, we struggled again, like the way this game was the same way as the Freeze Bowl that we played a couple years ago, where we were down early, we weren't scoring any, we weren't moving the ball in the first half, and then they just ran the ball, trap, double team up, ISO.
Yeah.
Like it's hard. And then you stack the line of scrimmage and somebody's open, Mac dumps it to an open receiver and he gets 20, 30. Like, it just got out of hand.
This is bad, dude, because Bob Gajinsky says that is irrelevant if the offense can't get any points in the first half.
Which is the problem. Which is the problem with the way that they're running offense right now with the defense that we have. Like, you have to understand the personnel that we have. We have a personnel that is going to be much better if the offense they're playing is forced to throw the football. And
why are we sitting here saying this? Like, don't they got to know this at One Bills Drive? Like,
I don't agree with it, but I understand what Dorsey's thought process is. Like, let's run the clock to keep our defense off the field. But like, that's just not what Josh is. That's not Josh is a guy that's going to put up points. If we end up giving up 30 and scoring 35, I'm good with that, because our defense is going to get you a turnover at some point. He's going to get you a stop at some point, where that's the way we're built. They're going to get you a couple field goals from the other team, but we have to score points and not play this passive style offense that we've been playing the last 3 weeks.
Yeah. This offense looks archaic. I'm starting to get to the point where I'm not saying you're going to fire Dorsey, but I'm starting to think Dorsey's not the best fit for Josh Allen, what his skill set is. I don't think he is.
Not the way he's calling it right now.
Not the way he's calling it right now. And I'm tired of giving, not that I give Dorsey excuses. I try to be very fair in my criticism of Dorsey and the offense. I try to place the blame where it goes. But man, like, people say, well, you're just a podcaster. Okay, cool. But like, sometimes we're right. And I feel like Josh Allen does not look like the same Josh Allen on the sideline, for one. Like, people don't think that stuff matters. I think it matters. I don't think the relationship or the cohesion is there. You can't have a playoff home game and put up 10 points against the Bengals. You just can't do that. You can't come in here for 2 weeks in a row and lay a stinker in the first half. Like, at some point, who are we going to hold accountable? Do we need to go to the very top with Sean McDermott, which in this area, I do have a problem with him, because like, he let Leslie Frazier do his thing with the defense. Like, you mean to tell me with the Bills could have had a very similar style, statistical output and style that would have benefited them well in the past couple years, like they do right now, then let Leslie Frazier call this conservative, no attacking style defense. Like at some point, we got to hold Sean McDermott accountable for some of this stuff. The fact that what's funny to me, and I'm sorry if I'm going on a rant here, but last week when the Bills beat the Giants and the handshake exchange between Sean McDermott and Brian Daboll, that's the problem. Like Sean, when is Sean McDermott gonna start? Like, I need him to be more controlling, if you will. Like this offense ain't
that
gonna
told
cut
me.
it.
So just going back, just taking from that told me that Daboll wanted the head coaching job here. And I don't know that for
He wanted
fact.
what?
He wanted the head coaching job here. And I don't know that for fact, but it's under my there's
hold on. Who told you that?
That's the way I see. That's the way I see it, based on that handshake. Because there would be no other reason for him. I've never seen McDermott ill to anyone, and he went up to him, slapped his hand, and got up out of there. And to me, that makes me feel that Daboll tried to get the head coaching job here at some point, and it was probably a little bit behind McDermott's back. I don't see another reason, because it sounds like McDermott let Daboll go with the offense. Just let him, because he's doing the same shit with Dorsey. So what purpose would you have to not feel good about he got a head coaching job? He's doing great. Like what other reason would there to be for McDermott to be upset at him?
Here's the difference. Brian Daboll is an experienced coordinator, right? Because he did it at college football. I mean, he did it in different places before he got here. He got here and he had good success with Josh Allen. Ken Dorsey, he's a second-year offensive coordinator, and I think he lets them do their thing, which I get to an extent. But at some point, someone's got to step in and say, like someone has to be the fly in the room, or the awareness in the room that says, you know what, dude, I appreciate what you're trying to do. You're trying to bring this balanced offense and stuff like that, but we got to stallion that quarterback. And we got to just let him do his thing. So we have to create an offense the best way we can for him and let him go. I think Dorsey's holding him back now. And I'm not excusing Josh, because Josh is missing stuff on the field. But at some point, I feel like this. Coaches fail players more than players fail coaches. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair. Because no matter what, the coach is going to get some of the blame, regardless.
Sure.
Like the Jets game came around, and we know whose fault that was. And Dorsey still got some of the blame for that one. McDermott still got some of the blame for that one. So coaches are going to get the blame, and that's when it trickles from the top down. That's just part of it. I will say that right now, mid-season, you're probably not going to get a better offensive coordinator.
No, mid-season, no, you're screwed.
Right, and so someone's got to tell Dorsey that, this is what I say. Somebody's got to put a boot to the ass in that offensive room. I'm unsure of whose fault it is, but someone's got to put a boot to the ass, and it can't be this lackadaisical type of thing that you got going on. And it's literally just the first half. We've had a long drive in the third in both games that we played. We scored in the third, or not in the third, but we had the long drive that led to a touchdown in both of the third quarters that we've played. And so when we come out in the second half, something clicks, and the way they play in the second half, if they can just transition that in the first half some way, somehow, it's going to mean that we're going to have a lead going into most half times, and that's the way we have to play. Like, in my opinion, I feel like you have to strive to have the lead going into halftime.
Dave Greepsmith says, it's still early. Don't throw the team under the bus quite yet. So I'm just simply casting blame where it goes. They deserve to be thrown under the bus. If this was the Bills of old, if this was Josh Allen rookie year, second year, I think there's a built-in excuse there. There's a built-in patience. But the problem is that this team, the expectations they're high. They're extremely high. And you don't get this. I understand the window will be open as long as Josh Allen's the quarterback, but you're going to squander years trying to round square peg round hole. And I don't want to see that. I want this team to win the Super Bowl. And I know, look, but here's the deal. If you have a winning history, and I'm talking about, like, if you were the Chiefs, if the Chiefs were having this performance, I'd be frustrated, but okay, I have faith and confidence in the coaching staff and Andy Reid to get these things done. Like it'll smooth out. I don't have that in the Bills. They have shown us the quite opposite. 13 seconds coaching. Like, how many situational things have we seen from the Bills that's kind of ebb and flowed down, Sean McDermott down, that is causing us to have these concerns about this team? You have to look at it that way. We can't just be sitting here, well, don't throw the team under the bus. Well, this is what they're showing us. I'm not going to sit here and just blindly support it. Like, it has to be called out because the expectations are higher. Tell me what you think about this. I tweeted before we got on the show. I said, if the Bills aren't careful, we will be the LA Chargers, meaning all the expectations, you fail to meet expectations once again. That's what it's looking like at 4-3 right now with the issues that we've seen. Thoughts?
I don't think that we have. So you said the Chiefs have a pedigree of getting to the championship, winning championship. So if they struggle like this, we do have a pedigree of struggling early and knocking off 7 straight. We lost. We were 4-3 the year that we went to AFC Championship.
Yeah. We lost that game to the Buccaneers, and then everything
came
changed
back in the second half. Everything changed after that. And so, like, I fully believe that this team constructed the way it's constructed. If I take away out, I would like a move at linebacker. But if I just say take this team the way it's constructed right now, I fully believe this team can end 12-5, 13-4, and will still win the division and go to the playoff game. The problem is when you get to the playoffs, what the problem has been for the Bills is when you get to the playoffs, the struggles that have been the struggles previously in the season end up popping back up in the playoffs. So, like, you can't just put a Band-Aid over and hide it to win in these playoff games. You have to fix it. And so I would prefer them fix what they've got going on right now, change it up right now. And I still fully believe we can, like, I'm not anywhere near in the panic button of not making the play. I fully believe this team's going to playoffs. What doesn't really matter what seed, like, I'm not scared that it's not going to happen.
Make the playoffs.
I would just rather it happen sooner rather than later.
They're too good to miss the playoffs, but the playoffs is not the bar. You're not saying that.
I'm saying once you get to the playoffs, it really don't matter.
Right.
There. And so, like, I would rather them take this right now to iron out the kinks so that no matter where you get to the playoffs, how you get to the playoffs, and you're at full go. And I have faith that this team can get there the way it's constructed right now.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I mean, again, you want to be playing your best football in December, right? Into January. Boy, but I just don't see a path right now. Like, I don't know if they'll get there. And I think it's coaching. It comes to coaching. Part of it's execution, but I think the majority of it's coaching. Understanding your talent. Understanding players' skill sets in the room. Like, for instance, you made an excellent point earlier in the show. The defense. You are down all-pro defenders in the defense, okay? You can't play defense the same. The offense has to come out and they have to start scoring to put pressure. You have to make the opposing offense one-dimensional.
Right.
And the Bills are failing to do that.
Yeah.
Because their offense stinks.
Due to what's going on with the offense. And
right.
So I that's my whole thing is I don't like the timing at which the offense is being called. And if there was one thing that I would harp on is that you have to call the game the way your defense is. Like, you have to call the game earlier. And I'm not sure what the idea is behind. Like, I would like to hear an answer on that from Dorsey of, like, why are you waiting till the fourth quarter to run a 4-minute offense when you're losing the entire game?
Yeah, and another thing that I want to call into question is special teams. Like, why isn't Deontay Hardy returning punts and kicks?
I think he is returning punts. He's not returning kicks, right?
Yeah.
Ty Johnson.
Can we get him back there too? Like, why can't he do that?
I'm assuming that they wanted to run because if I'm not mistaken, Damian Harris was back there before he got hurt. So they want a running back in there to control the ball and not fumble it. I'm assuming that's why. I don't know. I don't think I agree because you're not really giving yourself a big playability, but you're playing to take care of the ball. I'm assuming that's why McDermott has him back there.
Boy, this is hard. Kevin Poplowski says, "Who is the common denominator in all those losses to inferior opponents, 13 seconds, etc.?" Mickey D. So he's not a fan of McDermott. Matt chimes in and says it was the third hardest based on the season's results.
Hold on, Kevin. Who's the common denominator of this team going from not winning in any playoffs and then winning and then going to 6 out of 7 playoffs, about to be 8 in a row? I think that's McDermott, Bean, Jordan, Micah, Trey. They've all been here. Even Josh wasn't here prior when they went to the playoffs with Ty God. So let's look at let's open the lens a little bit rather than at the bad parts of the game. McD's been here for all that.
Yep. McDermott, he's part of the problem, but he ain't the main issue. Right now we're talking about the offense. The offense is the issue. RJ says scripted plays from Dorsey have been the worst. If I know what is coming on offense, so does the defense. I think this team takes every team too lightly. I mean, that's fair.
I don't think yes, I agree with the first half. I don't think that they're taking them lightly.
Yeah, no.
I think the game plan is to run the clock out in the first half on offense. To put it in like a very basic form, I think the game plan is to run the clock out in the first half and then turn up in the second half. And that's not going to win you games with the defense that you have to put out there due to all the injuries. That's the only point that I've made.
Yeah. Here's another point. Dominic says we're an overrated team. Lucky if we make the playoffs, we'll make the playoffs. Are they overrated? Yeah, I think our expectations need to be lowered a bit because right now, no, they don't need. Actually, what am I saying? They don't need to be lowered. They're just not playing up to their potential right now, and they got the roster to do it. They just aren't executing. And I think
they're not overrated. They're underachieving.
Underachieving is a better. Oh man. Ooh. Roy says, "Bring back the Jills." I need a reason to keep.
This is such, bro. This is a look. I get it. I get the problems with the team. Right. I understand it. Midway through the Bucks game that year, I was hearing, "Yo, this is the drought. This is the drought times. I'm tired of this. Like, I'm tired of how we lose all the time. We're back in the drought, brother." We've done this 3 straight years where we've been at 3-2, 4-2. Does it suck that we start so damn slow? Absolutely, it sucks. But let's not get ahead of ourselves and think that this is like, oh my god, it's over. Like, let's not like jump out of the it's super annoying that they play like this. But let's not like jump out the boat right now.
It is frustrating from a fan's point of view. It's extremely frustrating to see this team flounder opportunities.
Can we turn it up a little bit earlier in the season? Can we turn it up a little bit earlier in the games? Like, that's all it is. And midway through that Bucks game, I was people on Twitter, bro, I'm not a Bills fan anymore. I'm tired of this. Da, da, da. Like, bro, we made it to AFC Championship that game. Let's come on. Vaughn is still injured. Just speaking of
Reptile says our wide receiver 2 had 1 catch for 6 yards. He sure did.
Two targets. 2 targets.
Yo, you will die on the Gabe Davis hill.
Absolutely, get him the ball.
Die on that hill. I can't, bro. I can't. I need this. I need something. I need a little mo.
Dial up some digs or some dig routes for Gabe, please, and some corners, some outs.
Can they do something? That's not Diggs.
Can we stop staring at, like, don't get me wrong, like, Diggs should have the majority, and I have to keep reiterating that Diggs should have the majority of the targets. But can we dial up some series where we're like, okay, we're gonna get Gabe going here, boom, we're gonna get him going, boom. Kadarius Toney dropped 4. I said this. He dropped 4 game-winning catches. All of them could have won the game in their first game of the season. In their loss to the Lions, he dropped 4 game-winning catches. You know what happened the next week? Mahomes went right back to him over and over and over again because he knows that you're going to need those receivers when it matters. And I would love to see this team spread the ball out like they did in the Sherfield got some catches. Deontay Hardy got a catch on the drive that they scored, the long drive that they scored. I have one more thing to say before we get out of here. If you're getting out of here soon, is that all you that was talking shit on Jordan, you can go ahead and eat it because that boy can punch out the game. That was a game-winning play that we just didn't end up winning the game. But understand, he's still there. He's still kicking. Trust. Oh, fuck out here.
Oh man. Yeah, no, Jordan played well today. Big play to change the game. That was a game-changing play from all-pro safety. That's what they needed. The defense did their part. Like no one should sit here and say the defense lost us the game. I can't. For the life of me,
they should have got to stop it then. I'll say that they should have got to stop it then. And I'm not blaming the refs, but that penalty that cost us 4 points, or that was called on Taryn, was bullshit. They should have been up 9, and when we should have been up, I think we would have ended up being up 6 going into that last drive. But
Anthony DeAndrew says season is over. I dare anybody to prove otherwise. Blow this team up and trade Diggs, Knox, and Miller.
I know he's
fired Dorsey at the end of the season.
And I know he's trolling, but that's the shit that I hate seeing. Everybody was so excited when Von Miller came out and burned it all. But every time something bad happens,
my God,
it's right back to bro.
You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. Buffalo Rumblings post-game show here. This is Intentional Grounding vidcast. Man, what a game. The Bills lose to the Patriots 25-29. Bills sit at 4-3 with a quick turnaround to go to Buffalo to play the Bucks on Thursday Night Football.
Thank God it's a quick turnaround. Thank God.
It's a quick turnaround. I don't know if we need to relax. I don't know if we need to riot, but we need to do something. The Bills got to change fortunes. The margin of error each week is slimming. It's slimming. Some would say that the Bills need to go make a move. I tend to agree with that. Others will say keep what you have. Brandon Mee might say, we're just going to stay put and we trust the guys in the room. That's what I feel like they're going to come out and say, toward the end of the trade deadline. We just like the guys we have in the room and we just trust them, blah, blah, blah. So the Bills probably won't make a move. But here we are, 4-3. It's been great. We're going to get up out of here. It's been fun. I'm at a point where what more can you say? Like we're at a loss here. You can only say and do so much. The fact of the matter is this team has to execute. If you're going to continue watching, we're going to leave here, but Joe Miller is going to pop on tonight. So make sure you hang out and get the overreacting post-game show. But guess what? All Bro Poe and the Chop Up, we're going to be back here on Tuesday night. I'll probably do another episode, my 3 keys, a 3-minute drill on Wednesday night. That'll drop Thursday before the game. And I don't know what you guys got to do to get over this. Maybe have a shot, go hang out with your kids. But the weekend isn't over. The Bills just lost, and it is what it is. Hopefully tomorrow you'll have a start to a better week. Anyway, man, besides all that, this is the Buffalo Rumblings vidcast feed, post-game show. See you later. Go Bills, and we out of here.